I'm not gonna say the word pussy. I'm gonna say, poo-tang. So,
I think you should say pussy.
what happens when the power of pussy convinces a car thief he's in love after a weekend in Vegas with a robotic French hottie?
She was a little robotic, huh?
Find out next on Trees in Space. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Trees in Space, the show where we watch and review the movies in every genre, and we tell you what the fans thought, what the critics thought, and what we think. Is it worthy of a forest, a small grove, or just a stump? This week, in case you missed the thumbnail, we watched the 1983 drama Breathless. I'm Jason, and that is Nate. So, yeah, we watched this movie, and I was telling Nate prior to recording that I was a little nervous about reviewing this movie with him. Before we get into it, let's tell the people what this movie is basically about. It's not a porno, okay? So, Jesse Lojack, his name is Lojack. He's a car thief. He's leaving Las Vegas and he steals a car, kills a cop. And while he don't mean to kill a cop, I don't think, but while his picture,
Allegedly.
allegedly, while his picture turns up in the paper, he holds out in L.A. with the former lover of his, Monica. I can't say the last name. Pocard, Valerie
Card?
Kaprisky. Oh my God. I know she can't act, but oh my God. Monica is bewitched by his reckless behavior, and she don't say anything about it. She knows he's wanted. She don't say anything, but then the police said, you know what, you're going to prison too. And then she second thinks her what she's trying to do.
Oh yeah. He definitely has a devil may care attitude
Mm.
where, you know, whatever you think about this,
All or
no,
nothing, baby.
exactly. Um, really into oh my goodness. You shake my bones and you rattle my brain.
Jerry Lee Lewis, the king.
Ruthless. Yes,
Of the king. You call him the king? He does call him the king, doesn't he?
but he's all about Jerry Lewis. And I get it, he's awesome. But do you really have to say the name of the movie about 4 to 7 times?
He's saying the name of the song.
And then when he sees her, he's like, and you leave me
They
breathless.
had a name of something. See, it's a remake of a French movie from the 60s. And I don't know if that name of that movie is actually called Breathless. I'm sure it will show up on the screen. But so I don't know how true to the original content this is. So I'm gonna guess there was no Jerry Lee Lewis in it, and I think they pulled the Breathless song from that and made that part of his character.
I don't know, but I thought it was like when I heard the song, I was like, oh, did they make this song for the movie? And
The killer, he's the killer of the kid.
um, yeah, and I don't know if they did or not, but and I was like, all right, cool. They made a song for the movie. All right, whatever. It's no Huey Lewis in the news, but it'll work. Uh,
Dude, the man's badass.
um, and yeah, you were 10, 11 when you saw this movie.
Yes.
Uh, First off, hooray for, or I guess secondly, because I think I already had it first off. Apparently, I'm going to rant about this movie. I told you I'm going to talk circles around you in this movie.
Mm.
Uh,
I'm gonna correct you, but go ahead.
love the equal opportunity in this movie. It was all or nothing, baby. Either
Oh,
if he's going full nude, full frontal, she's going full frontal, bush, tits, everything. She's
yep.
laying it all out. And I was like, all right, good for you, Hollywood, getting them both to do it at the same time. Like,
And the front and back for both of them.
yeah.
The
Oh,
whole
yeah.
thing. I mean, I know she was completely naked in the shower scene where he lifts her up and the shower breaks, her
Yeah,
foot breaks the
that was a good
shower thing.
scene. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
fun.
Well, his arms are under her elbow or her knees. like
Yeah.
this. Her feet are up here. That means her hooties right there. And I'm sure he's seeing every little thing she owns, not just the front, because it's like that close. I mean, it's like
Oh
how these.
yeah. Swallowing whatever skin flaps he's got on his stomach. It's giving him a belly kiss.
But the thing is, it's it's a movie about obsession because he breaks so many laws.
All of them.
I mean, just to try to get her back because accordingly, apparently they only hooked up in Vegas for a weekend,
Right.
and then she somehow he knows where she lives. Um, he just
And
shows up and he breaks into her house, takes a shower in her house, whatever. Then
not at all creepy. None of this is
tracks her
creepy.
down at school.
Still not creepy. Not like a stalker at all.
That was romantic back in 1983.
The fuck it was. There's
I
no
didn't
way.
know any better. How do you think I got all my girlfriends in high school?
And then the French girl, Monica.
Yes, Monica.
Do you think she's a slut, or do you think she's just using her body to help her advance her career?
I think both can be true.
Fair. Because
Because go ahead.
I was trying to get a read on her the entire movie.
You can't because she's a terrible actress.
I guess so. Because I tried. I really did. Like, I was like, okay, is she in love with this guy over here? Because she's over here rubbing ice cubes all over herself, staring at that half of the picture that fucking homeboy ripped off.
Well, I think it's because it was hot. I don't think it has to do with the person that was in the picture. Because she was screwing her professor at the college.
Yes.
Well, I mean, she did. She definitely did that one night. Whether she was doing it prior, they presumed it was. There's conversation about that. So,
Yeah.
and boy, he was Richard Gere getting all pissed. I had a great time last night. He takes the answer machine and yanks it out the wall and throws it into the pool.
That had to have been some kind of chuck because I don't think the pool and the apartments are that close.
Wasn't that far because you saw the one where he climbs down like a monkey, which I thought was pretty impressive considering the fact that was practical. He went down 3 stories. Um, but he's there and he wants to take her to Mexico with him because he has to leave the states and he has to get money. I don't know how much money he's supposed to be getting, and every time he turns around left or right, he can't get any of the money.
Well, he essentially has to launder a check.
Yes, yes.
That's the hook and ladder there. So, and there's only one dude that has that liquid asset enough to pay him, and
Mm-hmm.
he's got to find it. Now, I gotta commend you all for growing up as an adult without a cell phone. You know how beyond crazy all of this was to me? Like I knew life in the before
Before
time.
cell phones, you were, yeah,
Yeah, I know the before times.
yeah.
However, I don't recall living that long in the before times. You have lived a long time in the before times.
I appreciate you.
So, like, you had a car and you commuted, and like, you had to, oh, hey, is Tommy home? No, Tommy went over to Jesse's. All right.
Tell him I'm looking for him.
Yep. Drive over to Jesse's house. Oh no, they just
There.
went to Rhonda's house.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it. All right, I'm driving to Rhonda's house. Oh, hey, beep, beep. Hey. There were some flaws in this movie.
No.
Uh, I'm pretty sure that at some point they didn't think you were going to be able to see Richard Gere's chest because you could see that the tattoo was no longer on his chest when he was running in one scene. And I was like, wait a
Oh,
minute.
I didn't notice that.
Um,
Just go look at
the
his penis because it's there a couple times.
yeah, I mean, I was happy that he had a average sized flaccid cock.
He's a grower, not a shower.
Yeah, and he showed it.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, so much confidence for me.
Yeah.
Like again, if I wasn't belly bound, I would be walking around my cock out.
Did you just make that term up, or is that a real term? Belly
Belly
bound.
bound? I
Yeah,
don't know. It just sounded good in my head.
I love it. I am go. Oh, it's stole. It's we have just ding, ding. If we were a more popular YouTube show, it'd be the next rap song next year.
Oh yeah, or they would refer to the times before cell phone as the before times.
More times, yeah. So she's telling him to go away. He keeps just like, I mean, it's like that joke from a Family Guy. 10 no's and a yes is a yes. you know,
Pretty much. I just this movie was too long.
it was only an hour and 40 minutes, I think.
That's
Hour
how long this
37.
movie was?
Yeah.
Okay. You could have shaved 30 minutes.
You can shave 30 minutes off of everything because you don't have no attention span.
This movie's too long. And were medium jackets like was that a trend? Was that like and what era was this movie supposed to be? All the cars in this movie were from like the
50s and 60s.
1950s.
Yeah.
He's dressed in the 50s, but this movie came out in the 80s. So is it trying to be a period piece but still current? Because
It
I
was definitely not, you know what?
and because I don't think phones worked as well as they did in the 50s as they did in the
They
80s.
didn't have answering machines in the 50s.
So what period of time is this
80s.
the LA only had cars from the 60s and the 80s?
I mean, the
What is this
cars that
fucking
were in the movie,
Cuba?
yeah, but there's a lot more cars in the movie. They had updated cars in the
Where?
truck, in the parking garage when the police were chasing them.
Yeah, I guess that was an updated 1970s looking car, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, they wanted to use the nice cars. Um,
But they're everywhere then? Like,
it's LA apparently. It's really easy to get a nice car in LA in the 80s because everything was cheap. Remember how wonderful the 80s was? I was told it was wonderful. I barely remember it financially.
you could definitely tell this was an 80s movie by the scrapyard guy's cap, where it had the little freaking wind turbine thing
Hmm.
going on. I was like, what the frick is this? I really wanted to shit. Like, I have every expectation of giving this a very low score.
That's fine.
However, we gotta always say boobies is a stump. It's weird saying it because usually you say that. So, uh,
And that's just boobies. We saw more than that.
I don't know what the fur bikini adds to that.
Oh, at least a stump, maybe a whole damn tree.
And then I also don't know if seeing flaccid Gere's dick is going to
Hey,
subtract
a
or
nude
add.
body, I think that's also a stump. I mean, I'm not gonna be biased
You're
one
not
way or
going
the
to
other.
discriminate between one gender or another.
No, no, it's what was I gonna say? Um, you said you're having trouble following it, and I don't understand why you had trouble following it, just because it was in different places at different times. I mean, if you listen to what he's trying to do and where he's going, true to form though, the time it took them to go place to place seemed like, well, that was quick or that was way too long. It flowed pretty smoothly considering there were a couple of I could see your issue with that, but I don't think it was all over the place. He was doing one thing and one thing only, like you said. Try to get that check cashed, get him on like and leaving.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of speed bumps in his way.
Well,
And if I seriously felt like a lot of it could have been alleviated. Because
because
now,
he could have left.
now, if you're gonna, I guess I don't understand how you launder a check because all you gotta do is sign the back of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you get somebody to agree to buy the check from you, right? And then all that person has to do is go cash that check.
But no one had the money to give to him. That one guy was helping him at the very end. He had the money, just not all of it. And he said he had to wait the next day and he'll give it to him next morning at 8 o'clock. That's what that was going on there. So what I was thinking was like, well, I didn't think this then, but I think this now. Okay, well, give me what you got. When I get to Mexico, I will send you a postcard of my address and you send me the rest.
Wire me the money.
Because obviously he trusted him enough to do something like that. And that guy was
Son of
helping
a
him.
bitch, your movie is better.
Yeah.
But at least that, like, I want, oh, spoilers. I wanted
Oh,
him to get away.
yeah.
like that would have been the better ending to this movie. The ending of this movie is awful.
Oh, the end of the movie is the best part of the movie. Are you kidding me?
It's the worst, one of the worst parts of this movie.
And I know you hate movies that do that little Frozen, but because he starts doing the you, and it's going really fast, and music's playing, and then it speeds up, and it slows down, and the guns at his feet, and the cops are behind. Woman's running. I love you, Jake. Which she would not say I love you the whole movie. And then he's like breathless, and then that turn, that freeze. It's just like, oh my god, did it really end that way? And that, of course, this is the first movie I've seen anything like this, so I'm like, that movie, that ending is. I mean, what are the three things you say a movie has to have?
Heart, humor, and heroics.
Okay, well, never mind. Fuck all that. But so after we have discussed this movie, would you like to move on to the 5-star, 3-star, 2-star reviews?
I would love to.
So the first 5-star review is from Anna Sophia V or 5. I'm not sure if she's Roman or not. So those Greek letters or Roman letters? Roman numerals. Anyway. Okay.
Roman or not.
Surprisingly better than Godar's original film. Has the Hollywood something that's now lost in movies. Apparently movies sucked in the 80s too.
I mean, the CGI graphics were pretty awful in this movie. But you would be the first and only person that I saw, even in the 1-star reviews that I went through, that said that this was better than the Duvall movie.
I'm going to watch it now.
Me too. My first 1-star or less review comes from an unknown. Why does this exist? Do yourself a favor and skip this to watch the true Breathless masterpiece. This is no substance in and in of itself, but you can compare it to the truly brilliant film you could be watching, then it is a total piece of money-grabbing poop.
Friend unknown, you don't watch dramatic movies for a laugh. There are a lot of funny movies out there to watch for a laugh. I understand what you're saying, but you're an idiot. Okay.
I think maybe the acting differences between the two.
Yeah, well, I mean, Richard Gere, I think, is a good actor. Monica, not great. Matter of fact, I did IMDb hit her. You know how many movies she made besides this one?
One.
None.
I didn't think none was an option.
Yep, she made none. No other things. I think she was sleeping with the director. And
This movie killed her career. What can I say? It's
God, I
all
wish I
Richard
was
Gere's
22
fault.
years old back in 1983. I would have found her. She'd left me like everyone else. But anyways, okay. My last 5-yard yeebit.
Well, last 5-yard review.
The last 5-star review is from Unknown. I saw this back when as my first Richard Gere movie, besides Eternal Affairs. His movies, which is a great movie, his movie thereafter seemed out of character. This is the real Richard Gere, a low life, which is why he plays it so well. His acting is spot on as a charming sociopath.
He is, in fact, a sociopath. That is a very well done. That was a 5-star review.
That was
That's kind of harsh. The last 1-star or less comes from Unknown. I haven't seen this movie, but based on the concept alone, I can tell you it's the worst film ever made. I'm with this guy.
the what the F comment, which that could have been the what the F comment. It was an unknown 5-star. Okay, I haven't watched this movie recently, but I had a dream last night with Richard Gere in it. I love this movie. So let's move on to the critics and the audience scores for this wonderful film. Rotten Tomatoes scores this film at a surprisingly 63%. And the audience rating is also kind of high compared to what Nate thinks at 48%. You've heard what the audience thinks, you've heard what the critics think, and now you're going to hear what we think. As I said before in the beginning, this is one of my pivotal movies. As I was 10 years old, it affected a lot to me because I saw a naked woman. I saw like a relationship. I saw stolen cars. I'm like, this is like, wow, mind blowing to me. And I haven't watched it in 30 years. Of course, I was an adult this last time I watched it, so that shouldn't matter. Would I recommend it to my surgeon? Absolutely. And I'm having trouble right now because the nostalgic movie critic in me loves this movie at 5 trees.
Ooh.
The unbiased 50-year-old man I am now thinks it's an adequate movie at 2 trees. So I am fighting with myself to be honest with you about this movie, because if you're going to watch it, you're going to watch it not from what we say I wouldn't think, but you may. And I don't want to lie to you. I loved it. I love this movie. I still love this movie. I love Monica. I love his character. I love the Silver Surfer. I love the design. I love the pacing. I love Monica. I love the shooting. I love the dead cop. No, I love dead cops, but the idea of why he's running. Jerry Lee Lewis. I love Monica, and I love Monica, and I love Monica. So I am going to err on the side of nostalgia, because my LP over there is going to shit on it, and I'm going to give it 3 trees and 1 stump.
Wow, that's very harsh. Actually, I expected you to say 4 trees. So for me, I will absolutely recommend this movie to my surgeon. With that said, it's interesting what you said about the the nostalgia of watching this at 10 versus watching it at 50-ish. I was instantly able to kind of put my own perspective of what I would have probably felt at that age watching this. And I probably would have watched it around 14, 15. That probably would have been the time I would have gotten to this movie. And I would have given it 5 trees at 15 years old. Hell yeah, this would have. And you know what? I watched it and I was, this movie was exciting. It was erotic. It was, yeah, it was all over the place. It was crazy. You know, it's a weird movie. Originally, my plan was to give this 2 trees. Since
a lot higher than I thought you were going to give it to begin with. And like you said, like I said, boobies are worth at least a stump.
and that's with the boost. So, but honestly, after talking with you about this movie and the more I kind of was able to reflect on it as we discussed, I think I will agree with you that this movie is a 3 tree and a stump movie. Yeah.
Well, you heard it here first. A movie that Nate was shitting on still gives it 3 trees and 1 stump, because he's not stuck in his mindset. And a movie that I thought was gonna be 5 trees watching it pushed it down to where it probably should be like 3. I think we agree it's probably more of a 3 right there.
Yeah, boobs.
2.5, yeah.
And
Well, you heard it here first. So please tell us what you think. Thank you for watching. Comment, subscribe, like, share. Let your mother know. Let us know what you want us to watch next time on Trees in Space. What?